In late 2017, a sensational story gripped the media. UFC superstar Conor McGregor was allegedly marked for death by the Kinahan cartel. One of the world's most feared criminal organizations had put a contract out on Conor. And what was McGregor's response? Bold and defiant, come and get me. Welcome back to Crime Chronicles. Stay tuned as we look at this crazy story and confirm whether it's fact or fiction. Rumors of a cartel contract started circulating after reports suggested McGregor had clashed with individuals connected to the Kinahan cartel, including a close associate of Graham the Wig Whelan, a notorious cartel enforcer. Witness accounts describe McGregor storming into the pub in November of 2017, leading to a physical altercation involving himself, a young man, an older man in his 50s, and a fourth unidentified individual. Allegedly, the younger man was struck in the head, while the older man, possibly Whelan's father, was punched twice in the face. Both victims reportedly have ties to the Kinahan cartel. The story was first reported by The Independent, which referred to McGregor only as a well-known Irish personality, sparking widespread speculation. McGregor seemingly played into the narrative, posting a cryptic Instagram video of himself wearing a hoodie with the caption, "The Celebrity," interpreted by many as a sly nod to his involvement. Now at this point, with Conor leaning into the opportunity to get some publicity from the story, you'd think that it was all a fabrication. But renowned Irish crime journalist Paul Williams called the situation very dangerous, emphasizing that McGregor had entered a conflict with people who would not be swayed by his fame or influence. Brendan Schaub, a former MMA fighter, echoed this sentiment during an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, claiming that locals in Dublin had warned him McGregor was in serious danger. Sounds sinister, doesn't it? But you'd also have to ask yourself, how plugged in is Brendan Schaub to the criminal underworld of Dublin? Our guess is not very. Despite the warnings, McGregor dismissed the threats with characteristic bravado, repeating his defiant stance, "Come and get me." To understand the gravity of the situation, it's important to examine Graham Whelan's background. Born and raised on Clonard Road in Crumlin, Dublin, Whelan entered the criminal underworld as a teenager. His nickname, the Wig, reportedly originated from a distinctive haircut he had in his youth. Whelan gained notoriety when, aged just 17, he was arrested following a now infamous drug bust at the Holiday Inn in Dublin in the year 2000. Whelan was jailed for 6 years following the €1.6 million seizure of ecstasy and cocaine. He had €75,000 seized from him following a Criminal Assets Bureau investigation, which discovered that he had property in the UK and was in possession of a drugs tick list and an EncroChat phone at the time of his arrest. Whelan left Ireland in 2009 after the introduction of new gangland laws put him at threat, and he moved to the UK, where he lived until 2016. While living in the UK, he was a close associate of the Kinahan cartel's boss in Britain, Thomas "Bomber" Kavanagh. Kavanagh, who lived in a fortified mansion, complete with reinforced doors and bulletproof glass in Tamworth in Staffordshire, was jailed for 21 years in March of 2022, after importing cocaine and cannabis worth more than £30 million. Whelan would be arrested again in January of 2019 after he returned to Ireland and police raided his room at the Intercontinental Hotel in Ballsbridge, Dublin. They found him in possession of more than £1,000 in cash and a high-end Swiss-made watch worth more than £23,000. He pleaded guilty in July of 2021 to participating in the actions of an organised crime gang by laundering money, and admitted he had paid nearly £2,000 for a 3-night stay at the hotel at room 342, knowing or believing that the money was the proceeds of criminal conduct. Whelan's initial arrest when he was 17 was one of the catalysts that triggered the Crumlin-Drimnagh feud, a bloody gang conflict that claimed at least 16 lives over a decade. After becoming a trusted senior figure in the Kinahan cartel, he began liaising with other criminal organizations, and also overseeing drug operations across Europe, further cementing his influence in the underworld. Conor McGregor's connections to Dublin's criminal world are largely circumstantial, rooted in shared geography and social circles. Growing up in Crumlin, an area known for producing both fighters and criminals, McGregor inevitably crossed paths with figures linked to organised crime. One of the most notable connections was David Byrne, a high-ranking Kinahan cartel member. McGregor and Byrne shared a history through Crumlin Boxing Club and were often seen attending fights together. Byrne, however, was gunned down in 2016 during the infamous Regency Hotel attack, part of the violent feud between the Kinahan cartel and the rival Hutch family. The attack, which took place during a boxing weigh-in, left Byrne dead and further entrenched the cartel's bloody reputation. McGregor attended Byrne's funeral, sparking media speculation about his ties to the cartel. He was also present at the funeral of Paul Kavanagh, another gangland figure and brother of Gerard Hatchet Kavanagh, a senior Kinahan associate. Despite these connections, McGregor has never been implicated in organised crime. His rise to fame through the UFC took him far from the world of drugs and violence, though his social ties have kept him linked in the public eye to Ireland's underworld. Amid the frenzy of speculation, a photograph surfaced showing McGregor with Graham Whelan at McGregor's Black Forge Inn. The image ignited questions about their relationship, especially given the rumours of the large cash bounty on McGregor's head. How could McGregor be socialising with a man supposedly threatening his life? The answer lies in their complex, long-standing connection. Whelan, fresh out of prison after serving an 18-month sentence, had reportedly committed to turning his life around. He had also begun a relationship with McGregor's sister, bringing him into McGregor's family circle. The photograph was reportedly taken during a family gathering, suggesting a level of integration between Whelan and McGregor's personal life. Throughout the media frenzy, McGregor remained unshaken. He mocked the situation on social media and continued his public appearances as if nothing was amiss. His confidence likely stemmed from his belief that he was not a genuine target of the Kinahan cartel. McGregor's defiance, coupled with his indirect ties to the underworld, created a dramatic narrative that captivated the public. The incident highlighted the intersection of fame and organised crime in Dublin. While McGregor's connections to figures like Byrne and Whelan are more about shared upbringing than active involvement, the overlap has fueled intrigue and speculation. Conor McGregor's fists and mouth have got him in plenty of trouble over the years, but in this instance, it seems that even if elements of the story were true, he wasn't ever in any great danger. Thank you for joining us today on Crime Chronicles. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the channel with your friends.